Alright, now continuing with part 3, we're going to add the bearings. We're going to choose the type of the bearing. I'm going to use the deep groove ball bearing. You can choose the bearing type according to your needs and module. Go back again. Choose the deep groove ball bearing. As you can see, there's a lot of bearings, so it will take some time. Then we can choose this button over here to choose the cylindrical face, and we will choose this one for the gear and click update. So the more the width and the outside diameter, the more your bearing can endure and take more loads. So I'm going with this one. Click OK. OK. And as you can see, it will be alright. So if it wasn't visible, just zoom out, you'll find it somewhere. And as you can see, it's already constrained with the axial axis of our gear. And then we copy it and Ctrl V to paste it to have another bearing for the second side of the shaft. And as you can see, it's not constrained, so we're going to constrain it. But before that, we're going to add the second or the third bearing for the pinion. So again, with deep groove ball bearing, I'll go with this folder over here and choose the cylindrical face, update. So we can go with this one, and of course you always can check from the calculation if it's going to fail or not. So we go with this one, click OK. Right, also again, if you can't find it, just zoom out. If you still can't find it, try to move your objects around. Okay, there it is. So Ctrl C, Ctrl V to copy it and paste it. Now we're going to constrain these bearings. Alright, so we're going to constrain the axis of the bearing with the axis of the shaft. We'll just adjust the view. Alright. So again, the selection. I believe I didn't click apply for the first one. Yeah. Alright, so I'll cancel it and redo it again. The axis of the bearing with the axis of the shaft. Apply the same for the pinion bearing. Alright, apply. Now I'm going to make the bearings rest on the shoulder that we created for them, which is this side with the adjust the view. Alright, click on the second selection, which is the surface, so it's resting on. So the idea of the shoulder we created is so the bearing, the inner diameter of the bearing can rest on, because both will be rotating. The rotation should not be linked together. So if this surface was in contact with the bigger surface, we might have some power loss that we can avoid. So we can have a better look from this side. You see, the diameter of this shoulder or this portion is determined by the inner diameter of the inner circle of the bearing. So this one, the inner side, is resting on this shoulder. There is no need for this bigger or the outer diameter to be in contact with the shaft. It will be in contact with the case itself or the bearing cap. Alright, so back with constrain. We'll constrain this surface with this one, apply, and do the same for the bigger bearings. Apply for this one. I can move it a little bit out to have a better view. Alright. Again, constrain. I believe it's this, yeah, this surface with this one, and okay. So now almost we're ready. So now we're going to create the mounting holes in our case. So first we save what we did. Okay, so now we're going to click on our case cover, right click it, edit, we click on the surface, then go for create sketch, and then we're going to add a circle which has a diameter of, again, to check it out from here, we don't need the shaft dimensions anymore. Turn off the current layer, it's okay. We go for the circular object dimensions. Alright, so for this one it's 38, and for this one 22. So 38 and 22. Alright, both will have dimension between the center of the circle and the side of 72, so they're both in the center of our case, and the same for the second circle. Alright, and the dimension between them should be equal to the center distance of the gears, which is 68, and then either from top to the center of the top circle or any other from the second circle. So the dimension is 74 to this part, so it's better to take it. We can add the thickness of the wall, which is 8, so 74 plus 8, 82. Okay, so currently that's it for the current one. So we can add also, yeah, these holes for the bolts, so we can add them now. So we have the diameter of them, which is 6, and bearings cap dimension. Alright, so it's not here, and circular object. Alright, we can measure it. So we go for the circular objects and disable this one. We go for dimension. Currently from center to center we have almost 27. Alright, we'll keep it as 27, and from here to 20. Alright, so 27. We'll have a line, so it was 27. Alright, so we'll take it as 27, and we'll make a circle over here of diameter of 6 millimeters. Then we'll delete this line. Sorry, I didn't intend to delete the dimension line. No, not this one. It was from here to here, right? Okay, and the same for this one. We said 20, and we'll add a circle over here. We can have it 6 or 4, since this one is smaller, so not much of force. So, and we can delete this line. So now we go for circular pattern. We choose the geometry you want, and then the axis. We can choose the center. Okay, again for the second one we choose the geometry, then we choose the axis. Okay, then we finish the sketch. Afterwards we go for extrude. We'll choose these two options, do profiles and choose cut. In addition to, okay, it seems I can't choose them for a reason. Extrude again. Alright, so cut, cancel, extrude, cut. Okay, it seems I have to choose all the profiles first. So this one, Alright, now choose cut and click OK. So now we're seemingly ready. Alright, so then we're going to add a small portion in the back over here, and we can reduce the space between these two circles over here. So we're going to reduce that space. Again, we go for which extrusion it was, the third one, the last one, and we're going to change the space between those two centers from 20 to 18. Alright, finish sketch. Now it seems better. Alright, so now we're going to click on this surface and click on create a new sketch. We'll adjust the view, then create two circles. If you want the center of this circle over here, you can simply move the or hover the mouse or the cursor over it, then you will get the center as a black dot. Alright, so we'll create two circles, one is this one with the same dimension as the previous one. Then we'll add another one. We'll increase its length by 2 millimeters, so 38 plus 2 is 40. We'll do the same for the second circle or the second mounting hole, so 22 plus 2, 24. Now we finish the sketch. We check the view a little bit. Alright, so we'll go for extrude. We'll choose the intersection point. A little bit adjust the view. Alright, we'll give it the distance of 5. What we're doing now is this section, as in the example, or this one, yeah. We're doing this extra part over here, this one. Alright, so click OK. Then we go for fillet. We can give it 2. We'll test it. Alright, so 2 seems we can reduce it to 1.5. Okay, this is better. Okay, so now we go for return. We'll repeat the same for our case from the back. Alright, so over here, right click, edit, then click on this surface. We'll create a sketch. We can rotate it. So we'll create two circles. One was 38 in diameter and the second one was 22 in diameter. Both were in the center of our box, 72, and the same for this one, 72. Alright, and the distance between both centers is 68 according to our calculation over here, the center diameter. Alright, and from here to here it was 82 if I'm not mistaken. Alright, then we're going to add the circles for the mounting bolts. It was 27, the distance 27. Alright, so 20, we can draw the circle immediately. 6, then use a dimension, so we want it to be 27. Alright, and for this one we change it from 6 to 4, and the space between both centers we set it to 18. We click finish. Sorry, we're not done. We'll go back to the sketch. We'll need to create the circular pattern, so we choose the geometry, then the axis, click OK. The same for this one. We choose the geometry, then the axis, and we click OK. Then we finish the sketch. After that, just let me rotate it. Alright, so we go for extrude. We'll choose all the profiles. So it seems that the wording between profile and geometry make the difference in selecting the objects. So we'll go for cut, and Okay, so now we have the mounting holes for our case. We'll say we go for return, we save our work, yes to all. Okay, now we need to add this extra part into our case as we did over here in our case cover. So we'll add it from in the inside. So we right click on it, our case, edit, we click on this surface, we go for create sketch, adjust the view, we create two circles from the center of the previous circle, one with the same previous diameter, the second one will be larger by 2 millimeters, so 38, 40, and the same over here. Alright, so 24. We'll finish the sketch, extrude, we'll extrude the intersection area. The distance 5, and okay, check it out. Alright, we'll add a fillet of 1.5. Click OK. I'm just going to check the extrusion. We'll go for edit feature. It's 5, yeah. Okay, so return, save, okay. Now I'm going to close the case, so we're to get ready for mounting the gears inside. So again, just check to save our work to be safe, save to be safe. Alright, now we go to assemble constraints. We'll add a mate constraint from this surface to this, and okay, so now our case is closed. Alright, we go to this portion over here, we will click edit and click on this surface on the bottom to create the base, create a new sketch. We will make a normal rectangle over here. We want the dimensions to be from here to here. We can set it as 40, and from this side to this side also 40. You can change these dimensions as needed for your case if it was bigger. Here it will be 40 plus 8 because there is the case cover over here. As you can see, it's not calculated over here, so we'll add it. So 48. Alright, finish sketch. Sorry, before finishing the sketch, we'll go again to that sketch and we'll delete this portion over here. We don't want it, we only need this frame that we created. So finish sketch and go for extrude. Then we can extrude by 50, for example. So this is our base. Return, adjust the view. Alright, so we right click on this case, edit, we'll click on this surface, we create a sketch. We're going to add the mounting holes for our base itself to mount our gearbox itself. So this can be 12 in diameter, for example. Alright, so 12 seems okay. 12. Alright, we'll check the dimensions. We can keep them 14 by 14. Again, these dimensions are up to you as you seem fitting. Can even make it 15, or we'll continue by 14. I need to make this video longer. 14, 14, 14. Alright, so finish sketch. We'll go for extrude make sure you select the correct objects. Alright, go for cut. So we can cut for around 10. No, that's too short. Go for 25. 20. Yeah, 25. Okay. So rotate, return, and then I will rotate this. Free rotate. Okay, it seems I can't rotate it, I believe because it's grounded. So now I can move it. So I'll rotate it, right click and free rotate. It's okay, after I finish this rotation the case cover will come back. So escape. Alright, so I just moved it back, and okay, I will rotate it again. Sorry, I will go with constrained orbit. Alright, I just want to fix my home view. So again with free rotate. It's a little bit hard to deal with. Alright, this seems fine. Okay, this is good. So yes to all. Okay, so now I will stop this video and we'll start with the part after this one. Alright.